What's up, everybody? Let's Talk Jets Radio. Hope you guys are doing well. Finally made it to game week. Been a long off season. Beyond excited to get out to Carolina and meet up with as many of you guys as possible. If you're not going to Carolina, we'll still be there for the home opener the following week against the Patriots, so definitely hit us up. This video is just going to be a quick one talking expectations for Coach Saleh in year one. Me personally, I kind of agree with Tyson as far as limiting the expectations, understanding where this team is in the rebuild process right now. I've always been a believer of the Rex Ryan quote from Hard Knocks, where he talked about expectations being best when they're at their highest. But just being realistic, again, for a 2-14 team with a brand new head coach, rookie quarterback, to expect playoffs or to expect those expectations to be high this year, it's not realistic. I'd love to see the team, competing in December, playing some meaningful games. I think that's probably where the ceiling is for this group, considering some of the injuries already that they've faced. But more so for Coach Saleh, this is a year for him, I think, to really put his stamp on this team, especially with a lot of the young players. Usually that's a good path towards, getting guys to buy in, guys that are, still on their rookie contracts, competing for their first big payday. Usually that's an easy way to get guys to buy in. But more so when you're legitimately a player's coach, a leader of men, I think that more than anything else will get guys motivated. And just coming from the last regime with Gase and, even going back to Bowles and Cagnon or Idzik and all the other messes that we've had here, I think this is a nice little combination with Douglas, who went outside the box, brought in Saleh, recognized some traits that this organization definitely needed as far as team building and culture building and things like that. So I'm just more curious to see how the X's and O's play out. Can he make the in-game adjustments? How does he explain, certain mistakes after the game? Does the media become too much for him? Because as a defensive coordinator, you're not responsible for answering questions really after the game all that much. But as a head coach, every single game, you're going to be answering questions on offense, defense, special teams. Ultimately, every single thing falls on you. So I think that's going to be a strength for Saleh in the sense that he will be somebody that owns his mistakes, shows some accountability. He's not going to be somebody that points the blame at somebody else. I think he'll put it all on his shoulders, which should reverberate throughout the locker room. But it's going to be an interesting year, though. I really want to see how he adjusts to some of his failures. That's one thing that he's even talked about himself. Like, when you face adversity, that's when you're truly tested as a head coach. So I'm curious to see how he handles those things. If there's any kind of player disputes, players being unhappy with playing time, or things like that. Players just not playing well if he has to bench somebody, or if there's something going on outside of football if he has to bench somebody. Can he do that and still maintain the respect of the player where it doesn't become a bigger issue? All these things are going to be fun to watch. And like I said in the beginning of the video, just with the expectations being so limited, with this being such a young team and so many new parts, that's what's going to make it so fun. You're not coming into this year expecting playoffs. As much as we'd love to see it, because it's been so fucking long since we've been there, we know that this is a longer process, that this is still probably 2 or 3 years down the line before the team is realistically competing for something serious. So, this is the first step towards ultimately getting to that goal. And you just want to see that Saleh is the right guy to lead them there. Obviously, you want to see the same thing from Zach Wilson and a lot of the other draft picks. But more importantly, if you have the right head coach and he's establishing the right kind of culture, I think that speaks volumes, especially in free agency. Players talk. This is a place where you want to come play. We're building something special here. I think that's going to be important. So I hope that Saleh actually, really does have a grasp on the locker room, has these players motivated and playing hard. And I think that would be probably the biggest positive that we could see this year, aside from Zach Wilson just lighting it up. So hope you guys enjoyed. We'll do a few more of these videos before week one. Talk to you guys later.